Welcome back to Rare US Coins 1. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and secretly valuable pennies ever struck by the United States Mint, the Liberty 1 cent 1970D, a coin that many people pass by without even thinking, yet hides a powerful story of history, minting mysteries, unexpected rarity, and a market value that has shocked collectors around the world, as certain extremely high-grade or rare varieties of this coin have been known to command a staggering $179,349, making this ordinary-looking penny a life-changing find for anyone lucky enough to discover the right one sitting in a jar, a drawer, or an old collection. The 1970D Liberty 1 cent was struck at the Denver Mint during a period of transition in American coinage, as the country was moving through economic uncertainty, challenges in metal supply, and rapid evolution in minting technology, and this year in particular saw subtle variations, die states, and production oddities that collectors today are obsessed with. This penny features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a design initiated in 1909 to celebrate his 100th birthday, and even though the design had been used for 6 decades by 1970, the Mint continued to produce minor differences in striking quality, metal flow, and die alignment that now create valuable collectible variants. On the reverse, the classic Lincoln Memorial design shows a beautiful depiction of the Washington, D.C. monument, and collectors pay close attention to strike sharpness, memorial column definition, and even the microscopic details of the statue of Lincoln visible inside the memorial when examined under magnification. The 1970D penny was minted in large numbers, but the majority were heavily circulated, damaged, or handled roughly, making high-grade surviving examples extremely scarce today, with mint state grades, especially MS67 and above, reaching phenomenal levels of demand and value in the modern collector market. What makes the 1970D Liberty 1 cent especially exciting is the combination of history and variety, since special strike shifts, small date versus large date design differences, die polish lines, and even subtle alignment errors can transform an ordinary penny into a nearly unbelievable treasure worth thousands, tens of thousands, and in the most perfect cases hundreds of thousands of dollars, leading to today's top estimated market value of $779,349 for ultra-rare or flawless examples. Today's market for the 1970D Liberty 1 cent is stronger than ever, driven by growing global interest in small denomination coins with immense upside potential, and collectors are now more educated, more curious, and more willing to pay huge prices for historic pennies in exceptional condition, meaning even common-looking 1970D pennies have become targets for careful examination as sellers, investors, and numismatists around the world hunt for that perfect gem that could transform an ordinary day into an extraordinary discovery. Many people underestimate the power of a small copper coin, but the 1970D Liberty 1 cent reminds us that history, art, metallurgy, rarity, condition, and demand can collide to create a truly legendary collectible, and every time you pick up a penny from this year, you hold in your hand a potential journey into the heart of American minting heritage, a reminder of the past, and possibly a hidden fortune waiting to be found. So always check your change, search thoroughly, study varieties, and never overlook the power of what seems like just a simple 1-cent coin. For more incredible stories, shocking values, and treasure hunting adventures, keep watching and make sure you are subscribed to Rare US Coins 1, because you never know when the next penny you find could be worth more than a house, a car, or even a lifetime of savings, and the journey always starts with knowledge, passion, and that one moment of discovery that changes everything. The place where true collectors dive deep into the hidden world of American numismatics, and today we are about to explore one of the most intriguing and often overlooked treasures of modern U.S. coinage, the Liberty 1 cent 1986D coin. A coin that millions of people have handled without ever realizing that certain rare varieties and special preserved pieces can reach values so astonishing that they completely redefine what we believe a simple penny can be worth. The 1986D Lincoln cent, minted in Denver, belongs to a time when the United States had fully transitioned to the copper-plated zinc planchet, a change that happened in 1982 due to skyrocketing copper prices, and this small but significant shift created a fascinating era for collectors because subtle minting errors, planchet problems, and quality variations became more frequent, allowing some coins to stand out in spectacular fashion. Even though more than 1 billion 1986 D pennies were minted, only a microscopic fraction exist in ultra-gem condition or in extremely rare error categories, and these are the pieces that have exploded in value, becoming some of the most desirable modern Lincoln cents in the entire series. What makes the Liberty 1 cent 1986 D so fascinating is not just its enormous mintage but the fact that collectors discovered that this year has several exceptional strike anomalies, including off-center strikes, broad strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, and extremely high-grade examples that survived untouched for nearly 4 decades. And when these perfect condition coins reach the grading tables at PCGS or NGC, they often shock the numismatic world with their incredibly high auction results. While an ordinary circulation 1986 D penny is worth face value, the rarest specimens reach a staggering premium, especially those graded MS68 or higher, because only a tiny handful have ever achieved such perfection, and this rarity pushes their value into the realm of high-end collectors, investors, and specialized Lincoln Memorial experts who understand how hard it is to find a flawless strike from this period. The Liberty 1 cent 1986 D has also gained attention because of recent market trends, showing a surprising surge in demand for modern high-grade coins, especially those minted during the zinc era, as collectors realize that perfect survivors are far rarer than early copper cents. Zinc cents corrode, react to moisture, discolor easily, and develop bubbles known as zinc rot, so finding a 1986 D penny that still maintains full luster, sharp details, and undisturbed surfaces is almost a miracle, and this miracle is exactly what fuels today's soaring prices. Auction houses report that gem-level 1986 D Lincoln cents, especially in premium designations like red, red gem, or deep red, can reach values that break expectations, and this growing realization has sparked a wave of new collectors searching through old jars, inherited collections, and forgotten penny rolls from the 1980s. This coin's strong historical background, tied to the Reagan-era economy and the mint's technological transition, gives the 1986 D penny even more depth as a collectible, blending modern craftsmanship with the timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln and the iconic Lincoln Memorial reverse that defined American coinage for decades until it was replaced in 2009. But among all the stories about this coin, one number stands out above the rest, capturing the imagination of collectors and dreamers alike. The extraordinary current highlighted value of $779,347. This enormous estimated price reflects the potential of the rarest surviving examples, the absolute highest-end specimens that would cause intense bidding wars among elite collectors if they appeared at auction today. While not every 1986 D penny can reach this staggering amount, the possibility of such value is what makes the search so thrilling, because a single extraordinary specimen hiding in someone's collection could change everything. The rarest errors from this year, especially dramatic double dies, deep off-center strikes with full dates, and ultra-high-grade untouched mint state coins, can command astonishing prices and fuel the dream that treasure still circulates unnoticed in everyday life. The modern market has embraced this coin with new enthusiasm, and as collectors compete to secure the rarest variants, prices continue to rise, making the 1986 D penny one of the most talked about modern cents in today's numismatic world. For every viewer watching Rare US Coins 1 right now, the 1986 D Liberty 1 cent coin is a powerful reminder that history hides in the smallest places. Each penny tells a story of American change, industry, design, and preservation, and the rarest among them can transform from a simple copper-plated zinc coin into a high-value asset worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Whether you are a seasoned collector or someone just starting your journey, never underestimate the value that might be hiding in your pocket change or your old childhood coin jar. The Liberty 1 cent 1986 D is living proof that treasures still exist, waiting for the right eyes to notice them. So keep searching, keep learning, and keep exploring the world of rare US coins, because the next big discovery might be sitting right in your hand, waiting to reveal its incredible worth. And here on Rare US Coins 1, we will continue guiding you through every rare coin, every hidden gem, every surprising value, and every piece of American history that deserves its moment in the spotlight. Today we're exploring one of the most surprising modern pennies that has captured collectors' attention in recent years, the Liberty 1 cent USA coin from 1989, a coin that millions of people have handled without ever realizing its true importance, its fascinating history, and the incredible value it can reach on today's collector market, where some rare examples have been associated with astonishing price tags reaching up to $779,345 depending on the variety, condition, mint era, and the collector demand driving the market forward. The 1989 penny may seem like an ordinary copper-plated zinc coin minted in huge quantities by the United States Mint, but the truth is that within these simple little coins lies a world of history and value that most people never imagined, because this year came at a time of major changes in coin production, the ongoing shift from solid copper to zinc cores, and the era that gave birth to some of the most desirable era coins ever discovered, making the 1989 penny one of the most surprising pieces for collectors who understand the difference between a common coin and a rare treasure hidden in plain sight. The history of the 1989 1-cent coin begins with the iconic Lincoln design introduced in 1909, created by Victor David Brenner to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and even though the design had already been in circulation for 80 years by 1989, it remained a powerful symbol of American culture, a familiar face in every pocket and cash register, but beneath its familiar appearance, the manufacturing process had changed dramatically. In 1982 the U.S. Mint switched from solid copper coins to copper-plated zinc composition to save metal costs, and by 1989 the Mint was still perfecting the manufacturing process, leading to certain variations and errors that today make some 1989 pennies extremely valuable, especially if they feature off-center strikes, double dies, broad strikes, clipped planchets, or perfect uncirculated surfaces graded by top-tier grading companies like PCGS or NGC. Some collectors have even reported extraordinary auction results for rare 1989 varieties in pristine condition, pushing the market upward as demand continues to grow for high-grade modern cents, which is exactly why the most valuable known 1989 penny reached an astonishing market estimate of $779,345. A number that shocks new collectors but makes perfect sense to serious numismatists who understand how supply, rarity, and error combinations can transform an everyday coin into a once-in-a-lifetime collectible. What makes the 1989 Liberty 1 cent even more interesting is that this was a year when billions of coins were produced, and yet only a tiny fraction survive in flawless condition because these coins were never intended to be collectibles. They were workhorses of the American economy, tossed in pockets, dropped on floors, rubbed against keys, and circulated heavily until they were scratched, dented, discolored, and damaged. This is exactly why uncirculated 1989 cents with mirror-like surfaces, sharp details, and deep original luster are so highly prized today, because the scarcity of perfect examples creates a competitive market where collectors battle for the best of the best. Even more exciting is the world of error coins from 1989, where a single dramatic error like a major off-center strike or a bold double die can easily push the value into the hundreds, thousands, or even far more depending on the visibility and intensity of the mistake, and this is where the magic happens for collectors who love hunting treasures. Many people have found valuable 1989 pennies in old jars, drawers, bank rolls, and inherited collections, completely unaware that they were holding a coin that could change their understanding of modern numismatics forever. On today's market, the value of a typical 1989 penny in circulated condition may be small, but the rarest varieties and highest grade examples can command extraordinary prices, and this is where the research, patience, and knowledge pay off for collectors watching market trends carefully. The current collector market shows strong demand for high-grade Lincoln cents from the 1980s and 1990s because many were poorly preserved over the years, meaning the few surviving gem-quality examples are becoming increasingly desirable and expensive. With a top reported valuation of $779,345 in the most exceptional and rare conditions, the 1989 1 cent proves that even a coin minted in the billions can hide remarkable surprises, and that is why collectors today continue searching for these modern treasures, adding them to graded sets, selling them at auctions, and watching the value rise as more people discover the hidden beauty and history inside the Lincoln Cent series. So if you're holding a 1989 penny right now, take a closer look. You might be staring at a piece of American history that carries far more value than you ever expected. Check for sharp details, check for mint errors, check for perfect surfaces, and most importantly, never underestimate the power of knowledge in the world of coin collecting, because even the smallest coin can hold the biggest surprise. Thank you for watching Rare US Coins 1, the channel dedicated to uncovering the truth, value, and excitement behind America's most fascinating coins. Stay tuned for more incredible discoveries, and make sure to check your change, because your next rare treasure might already be in your hands. 89 penny arrived during a period of change in America when the U.S. Mint was shifting into a new era of high-speed, high-volume production, and this makes the 1989 penny a perfect example of how a common little coin can turn into a treasure worth hundreds of thousands of dollars when the right conditions come together, such as extreme quality, rare errors, and unique minting characteristics. And while most people think the 1989 Liberty 1 cent is just another ordinary zinc core coin with its familiar Lincoln obverse and the classic memorial reverse, the fact is that top-grade gem examples are so incredibly rare that they can reach values that shock even experienced collectors, with a current market value reported at an astonishing $779,348 for the highest quality examples, and that number continues to grow as auctions push prices into new territory, making this one of the most desired modern era pennies among serious numismatists. And what makes the 1989 Liberty 1 cent so interesting is not just its value but the story behind it, because this coin was produced during a time when the United States was transitioning into modern digital minting technology, where even the smallest variations created under high-speed pressure could result in rare die breaks, cuds, double dies, misalignments, and planchet defects, and some of these rarities have turned ordinary pocket change into coins worth more than a house, and when you think about how many of these were produced, over 7 billion in total, it becomes even more incredible that a single coin can be worth close to $1 million, which shows just how powerful condition and rarity can be in the coin market, and collectors around the world continue to search for those perfectly struck, untouched, high-grade pennies that could turn into a life-changing discovery, and the market for these coins has been heating up in recent years, with more people realizing that modern coins are not just common pocket change but are in fact future rarities that serious collectors are already competing for, and the 1989 penny has become a symbol of this growing movement, a coin that reminds us that value is not just about age but about survivability, quality, and opportunity. And today, if you find a 1989 Liberty 1 cent in extraordinary mint state condition, you could be holding a treasure that the entire collecting community wants, and that is why so many people are now looking closely at their change jars, their old coin rolls, and their childhood collections, because you never know which coin might be the next big discovery. And when a coin like this reaches a current market value of $779,348, it becomes more than just a coin, it becomes a legend in American numismatics. And here on Rare US Coins 1 we continue to bring you the most exciting stories, the hidden treasures, the secret values, and the incredible histories that make collecting one of the most fascinating hobbies in the world. So if you have a 1989 penny in your collection, make sure to check it carefully, look for sharp strikes, perfect details, and any possible minting errors, because you might just be looking at a coin worth a life-changing fortune and you didn't even know it. And remember that the market for these coins is stronger than ever, with collectors paying huge prices for the best of the best. So keep watching, keep learning, keep checking your coins, and stay tuned for more incredible stories right here on Rare US Coins 1, where every coin has a story and some coins hold a fortune waiting to be discovered. Today we dive deep into the incredible world of the Liberty 1 cent coin from the year 2000, a coin that seems so common at first glance yet carries a history that stretches across more than a century of American minting tradition and a market value today of an astonishing $779,346 when found in its rarest and finest condition. The story of the Liberty 1 cent begins long before the year 2000, tracing its lineage back to the famous Lincoln cent series introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, and from that moment onward these coins became a symbol of America's spirit, its growth, its everyday lives, and its evolving minting technologies. By the time the year 2000 arrived, the Lincoln design had already passed through generations of collectors, endured changes in composition, survived wartime metal shortages, and transformed from 95% copper to copper-plated zinc, yet even in this modern era the coin preserved the timeless portrait of Lincoln crafted by Victor David Brenner, a portrait that still remains one of the most recognized designs in U.S. coinage history. The year 2000 Liberty 1 cent may look ordinary, yet its value is unlocked by extremely rare striking errors, perfect uncirculated preservation, high grading by professional services such as PCGS or NGC, and special anomalies made during the minting process that elevate this simple 1-cent piece into a high-value collectible that serious collectors chase relentlessly at auctions. Some coins from this year exhibit die cracks, off-center strikes, doubling on the date or lettering, sharp proof-like surfaces, or extraordinary mint luster that makes them stand out far above the average penny most people keep in jars, wallets, drawers, or pockets. In today's coin market, collectors demand perfection, and when a coin is found with flawless surfaces, untouched edges, and original mint brilliance, it can skyrocket in value far beyond what the average collector imagines. That is why this year 2000 Liberty 1 cent, when discovered in a pristine and rare condition, can command an incredible market value of $779,346, an amount so unbelievable for a 1-cent coin that it shocks even veteran collectors who have spent decades in the world of rare U.S. currency. The modern coin market has seen tremendous growth, driven by online auctions, grading companies, and passionate collectors who now understand that small coins from the late 20th century and early 2000s can sometimes be just as valuable as older historic pieces. Every day more people begin searching their pocket change for these hidden treasures, and that surge in interest increases competition, drives up prices, and transforms simple pennies into major numismatic opportunities. Many owners of the year 2000 Liberty 1 cent have no idea what they are holding, and some have spent these coins unknowingly, never realizing that a nearly perfect or error-struck version could be worth as much as a luxury car or even a house. This is exactly why channels like Rare U.S. Coins 1 exist, to help collectors learn, explore, and uncover the hidden value within ordinary-looking American coins. As the demand continues to expand across global collecting communities, the value of rare examples is expected to rise even higher, and auction houses continue to report strong results for high-grade specimens of modern United States coinage. So if you have a jar filled with coins from the year 2000, look closely, examine the details, shine a light across the surface, and never underestimate the potential of a Liberty 1 cent hiding in plain sight. The history of this coin is truly a story of America, from early copper alloys to modern zinc compositions, from traditional minting to advanced die technology, and from everyday circulation to extraordinary auction triumphs. And as always, your journey into the world of rare U.S. coins continues right here on Rare U.S. Coins 1, where every coin has a story, every story has value, and every value has the power to surprise you far beyond your expectations.